Hey everybody, welcome to a gorgeous afternoon. I am sitting outside in my backyard and wanted to share with you guys today a story that was a favorite of mine when I was little. This book is called Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. And one thing I wanted to point out about this book is that this book was originally written in 1940. That is a long time ago. That is a story book that has been around for a long, long time. And as I was remembering what this book is about, I thought, I wonder why it's so popular over such a long time. I think it's just because people like goofy stories. So, the little bit of background you need to know is that a peddler is someone, you may not know this term, someone who goes and sells things at different people's houses. So instead of going to a store, a person might come to you and sell books, or in this case, caps, which is another word for hats. Sometimes people would sell food or milk products. So anyway, that's what a peddler is. And then there's some monkeys in this story that are really, really silly. So, Caps for Sale. A tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Let's see if I can do this even with the sun right shining on the book. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, and then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, he had a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets holding himself very straight so as to not upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." That seems like a really good deal. I don't think you could get a cap now for 50 cents. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as to not upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "This looks like a very nice place to rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as to not disturb the caps on his head. That would be really tricky to do, I think. Then he put his hats to feel that they were straight, first his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then, the red caps on the very, very top. They were all there. So he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. You might see that something is missing. Many things actually are missing. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were still in the right place, and all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Look at all those monkeys. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking his finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Zzz, zzz, zzz." This made the peddler angry, so he shook both his hands, and he said to them, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their hands back at him and said, zzz, zzz, zzz. I'm not totally convinced that the monkeys understand what he's trying to say. Now he felt quite angry, so he stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you, give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, zzz, zzz, zzz. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and he shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, zzz, zzz, zzz. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. Oops. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. You see what's going on there with the picture? And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. They threw it down just like he had. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked hat cap. Then the gray caps. Then the brown caps. Then the blue caps. And then the red caps on the very, very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to the town calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." The end. So remember, this story is called Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Pretty funny. All right, see you later.